And then I put the underlying energy right here. So, guys, the underlying energy that we got going on here for you guys is the Five of Wands. There's a little bit of conflict going on right now. That's very apparent. There's some things going on, conflict wise, internal turmoil even. But I think most importantly, it's some energy kind of going. It's some competition. The reason why I say that is because you have here the Ace of Cups. I think right now, you may be competing for love, maybe for some of you guys. Some of you guys may be having some turmoil about love, starting love all over again. I feel like there is something going on in regards to maybe internal turmoil that you guys may have in regards to, your relationships and stuff. But right now, this conflict is a big issue. It's a big center point here. Let's go ahead and look into the rest of this and see what's going on. Right now, it's looking like you guys are dealing with triggers right now. You guys are dealing with old issues, dealing with old relationships. For a lot of you guys could be dealing with exes. Which is definitely understandable, especially if you're having that Five of Wands there. If y'all are dealing with an ex, yes, you're going to have a hard time trying to figure out, okay, well, this is someone I've been with already. Is this someone I really want to get back into it again with? All right, you know what I'm saying? So the Three of Swords is really talking about finding those triggers, knowing what those triggers are, and really, addressing the issue, addressing the elephant in the room. That's pretty much what it is. And it has a lot to do with heartache as well. It has a lot to do with, some things that may have happened in the past that just never really were properly gotten over. Now, what you guys want to be is this Ace of Wands, which is very interesting as we saw the Ace of Cups here underneath the underlying energy. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you guys have, you guys want something more exciting. You guys want things going on. I feel like this is what's going on. There's some change happening. There's some, as we, talked about here with the Five of Wands, it's not just turmoil and conflict and things like that, but it's ultimately change. Change is, comes in all kinds of forms, especially conflict. Okay. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, when it comes to the Ace of Wands here, I feel like you all really wanted to start something new, start something fresh. And I really think you guys really want to get a relationship that sparks in that fiery way. I really think you guys really want to get into a relationship that you could truly feel 100% passionate about. But the thing that's keeping you from being all passionate is this decision to do something. This the decision to go ahead and pursue this relationship, because you don't know if this is just, a good time or if it's something that could be serious. It's something that could lead to something. I don't think y'all are looking for a fling. Yeah, I'm not seeing any Pentacles cards, but the thing is, if it was a fling, it would be a problem. I feel like, I don't think it's a lack of imagination, because that's what some things that, that's something, sometimes that's what I can see. But I'm not getting a lack of imagination. I feel like it's just there's a lot of choices, a lot of options. And sometimes these options look really nice in the forefront, but is it like legit? Is it something that you guys feel like you could actually go ahead and make the, if it was such an easy decision, it wouldn't be the problem, right? But it's not, because I feel like some of y'all are dealing with exes. Somebody has come back, making a claim, and they really want something. They really want to start over. But at the same time, you don't know if you could trust that. You don't know if this situation is trustworthy. You don't know if the options that are presented to you right now are being offered as what they said to be offered to. You know what I'm saying? Because things could look good and nice and fresh, but are they really going to offer you what you're looking for? Now, the reason why the Seven of Cups is your obstacle right now is because of justice. There's some things being karmic corrected right now. And I think, or the past was about karmic correction. Maybe there wasn't an apology in the past. Maybe somebody did some wrongs, and the karmic scales had to balance itself out some way, or it didn't. It never did. Possibly. That's what I'm getting. I don't think there was an apology. I feel like there was something that went wrong and it wasn't really straightened out. And I think that's why this decision making is such a difficult one, because there's some old stuff that's coming up that has not been addressed, that hasn't been fixed, nothing. Now, your best path to follow, which is very interesting, y'all have the World. So let's talk about, it's time to just kind of wrap this boat up. But the situation is also understanding that you're coming to the end of a cycle. You're coming to a sequence in your life where you've completed it, and this is your reward. This is saying that this is your reward in the cycle, to kind of just I don't know. It's really weird. You have the option to go ahead and go along with this relationship or not. But either way, this is the way you end the cycle. Either you accept it or you don't accept it. Remember, guys, no answer is the right answer and no answer is the wrong answer. Okay, it is just what it is, right? So whatever you choose, whatever your heart wants, I would say go for it. But this is the ending of a cycle. Whatever you guys, the best advice is to just kind of go with what you feel is, right for you, honestly. And I feel like, honestly, I'm gonna I feel like, honestly, guys, because there's so many meanings to this, to the world, that the advice to give. We're gonna come back to that for a second, because in your in your feelings, you have the wheel of fortune. Like, this is a time around. This is a second chance around. So I feel like, honestly, yes, you see that this is a time where you're able to come back. You're able to kind of, look at a situation from another perspective. Because, with the Wheel of Fortune here, this does indicate that this is another time around for you to see something from another point of view, from another aspect, another perspective. So, you know what I'm saying? So if this is the case, which I really do think it is, I think the next day to come back and they're trying to make something happen with you, and you just don't know because there wasn't something that was tied up properly. You're feeling like, I don't really know about this. I don't really know if this is something I can do. Now, what you guys are hoping for is balance. Give a proper give and take. Perhaps in the past you weren't giving what you were, putting out there. Maybe you guys weren't receiving a good balance in your relationship. Maybe you guys were, putting so much in the relationship and you guys weren't getting anything back. And even that, it was like, it was like completely like, just completely imbalanced. So I think you guys really want a relationship that really balances itself out. For a lot of you guys, for even certain situations, for some of you, some of you guys, this could be you guys wanting to come back with an ex because of some situations that probably weren't balanced on your part. Maybe you guys weren't able to balance work and relationships. Maybe there was a situation where you guys had to kind of balance things out, but it wasn't really properly handled and it just kind of fell through. The relationship fell through, but you want to get back with this person. That could be that same situation as well, but the fear and the hope is still the same. You guys want a balance, and you don't want to get this, you don't want to have this balance completely kind of like out of whack. You want this to be right this time, because obviously justice is also the reason why the decision making is such a big problem. There wasn't something that was corrected. There wasn't something that was properly handled, and it left the situation completely unbalanced. Now, for your outcome, you guys have the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands is talking about defensiveness. Y'all are feeling like you guys have something to stand for, though. It's not the defensiveness that you're going to want to fight off people and trying to get away from. No, you're going to stand by something. You're going to stand by your truth, or you're going to stand by what you believe that you truly want, right? What you feel passionate about. And I feel like you feel very passionate about this relationship. I think either you feel passionate about yourself. If some of you that are trying to get it together, you guys feel very passionate about reconnecting again. But ultimately, back to your advice, I really feel like it's really trying to say, look at everything that you've been through. Look at everything that you've gone through. Is this decision going back to the good decision? Because right now the world is really just indicating, okay, yes, you've been through the cycle before. You were at the end. Now, this is a test, and you know it is. That's why you have the Wheel of Fortune in your feelings. Knowing what has happened in the past, do you go back? Do you give it a second chance? Do you try again? And if it's a yes, then it's a yes. Then you go ahead and you try it again, right? There's no wrong answers. Never a wrong answer. But if you decide not to go back, that is also never a wrong answer. That is just your choice. That is what you're standing by, and this, that is you defending your choice in regards to not taking this person back, especially if they have a reputation of not being right with you, right? And then again, for like, if this is the flip side, this is you guys. If this is you guys wanting to get back with somebody, then yeah, this is talking about looking back at the past. Was this relationship really that good for you to want to come back to it? Why do you want to come back to someone that isn't really contemplating it, or like who isn't really making a good, that's having a hard time accepting you for who you are completely? Because that's what it looks like. They're not trying to, they have issues here. Like, you may have old issues here. You want this new exciting beginning, but then there's this difficulty, this facade that's being kicked up, and is keeping the real decision making from happening because it's not really clear about what's being offered. So it's all about figuring out what is going on. Why, not really figuring out what's going on, but like being certain in yourself, like, okay, is this something that you truly want to go through again? Or is this another relationship? Is this a relationship that you want to try again? Because sometimes relationships, when you start them up again, they can start completely fresh, but sometimes they can end up being the exact same thing, and you don't know what's up, right? But you have to just kind of go on and rely on your instincts. And that's a good thing. That's one of the best things about you, Aries, is that you guys rely on your instincts. Okay, so we're going to pull from the whispers, some the wisdom of the oracle here. All right, so y'all have here and now, living in the moment, y'all. This is a really big card, because when I see this, I'm like, yeah, this is a time to really live in the moment and really be sure about, like, if this decision, despite everything that you've been through, is a good decision for you. And that's all that matters, right? You have to make the best decision for yourself. If it is a good decision for yourself, then it is, right? If it isn't, it isn't. There's never, remember, like I said, guys, there's never a wrong answer. There's never a wrong answer. So whatever you decide, y'all, it's okay, but you are living in the moment. As long as you're living in the moment and you're seeing the situation for what it truly is, trying to show you, then you're good, right? Because you're doing the best that you can with it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pull you guys a romance angels. I change up the cards every once in a while, every week or so. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ooh. Oh my God. Y'all have worth waiting for. Okay. And this is divine timing is at work in your love life. All right. So worth waiting for. So this is another sign, y'all. Maybe this person is somebody that you can reconnect with and really try again. So it's really all up to you. Whether this is, not really being sure if the offers, the offer that you're being received right now is legitimate or not. It's all about how you feel in the moment, y'all. It's how you feel in the moment. The world is all about how you feel in the moment, despite everything that you've been through. What do you feel like doing at this time? So trust your instincts, y'all. Work with yourself, okay? And really, if you need, if you need any time, then take the time that you need. Take the time that you need. But as long as you're doing the thorough research necessary, looking at the situation and dating for a while, and really taking your time and really getting to know that person and really seeing the offer for what it truly is, fine. Then you have that answer, right? Don't ever feel like you have to rush to get here. But the Seven of Wands, I feel like, is ultimately standing your ground, protecting you, right? If you need to take some time, if you really need to date them a little bit, see how they are, see how different they have become, then sure, that is totally okay, right? That is totally fine. But don't ever feel like you have to rush into anything. That's one of the things I really want to say. Don't feel like you have to rush anything. Don't feel like there's a time limit. If they want you back, they will wait for you.